I'm standing here with Amy Davidson, and she is the star of NETHERBEAST Incorporated. And I was talking to Brian and Brian and Dean earlier, and this sounds like a really fun movie to work on.
That you just said it. I mean, we had so much fun, and it's shot in Arizona, and I'm from Arizona, so I had even more fun because I was home and it was my element. And it's a really quirky, witty, dark, fun comedy about vampires.
So you're used to the dry heat?
Yes, unfortunately. Well, I live in LA now. I've been there 8 years, but when I go home, I'm like, I don't know how I did it for so long. I don't know how people do it.
I think people, like, when they move somewhere else, they get kind of spoiled to the weather really quick.
Especially in Southern California. Right. Yeah, I think I am spoiled.
Yeah. So now this is kind of like, I guess you would describe it as an office comedy with vampires. Is that an appropriate description?
Yeah, that's exactly it. The vampires run a telephone company, and they work there and sleep there and live there, basically. And my character is hired in, and she's human, and she's the only human. And so, within this office where they have, water coolers filled with blood and vending machines that have fingers and heels and, flesh for sale, they have to hide everything from my character. It's really funny. It's a really good script, good movie.
Now, are you a fan of horror movies?
I just did this whole panel about horror movies. Honestly, no. No, I'm scared to death. It's rare that I'll see a horror movie. In 1 week, I had 2 friends in movies. I had to go to 2 premieres, and it was miserable. Yeah. But I mean, I'm to support my friends. I will see a horror movie. But if I willingly seen people being cut up and eaten and
But throw some comedy in there.
Throw some comedy in there, and I'm all over it. Ours is gory in a comedic way. Like, you see people eating fingers and heels, but you don't see someone being ripped to shreds, and people get killed, but it's not. It's just different. Maybe I'm biased because I'm in the movie, and maybe I need to do a really disgusting horror torture movie, and then I won't be afraid anymore.
Now, coming from a background on a show like 8 Simple Rules and then going into doing an actual movie, what do you prefer doing? Like, is TV work easier, or do you prefer doing motion pictures? I know that's tough.
That's a tough question. Honestly, in my perfect world, I want another amazing show. And I want to do film.
Yeah.
I want to incorporate both. I don't want to limit myself. They both have amazing aspects. The family that I created within 8 Simple Rules is unlike probably any other work-related family I'll ever have. But then again, when we wrapped NETHERBEAST, I was miserable because these people, everyone lives everywhere. We weren't coming back for season 2. It's just different. But
I hear that when people work on a TV show and then do a movie, it's very hard to walk away so quickly.
And we shot this thing in less than 4 weeks. And so I was like, but wait a minute, I'm not ready, I mean, just because I was spoiled with a sitcom schedule and lifestyle, and but look we're all back together, and it's times like this that make it even more special.
It's like a reunion.
Total reunion, exactly. Last night, Dean was like, look, you guys are all back together,
Well, the movie is NETHERBEAST Incorporated. Amy Davidson, thanks so much for talking to us.
Yeah.
Enjoy your time in Dallas. I am standing here with Steve Burns, the star of NETHERBEAST Incorporated. Now, we just got done talking to Amy, and earlier we talked to Brian and Dean, who are totally nuts, by the way, but you got to love that. And so this sounds like a really fun movie, kind of a horror office comedy, I guess would be the appropriate way to describe it. Tell us a little bit about your character in the film.
Well, I play Otto Granberry, who's sort of the most normal of the undead corporate zombies. And I mean that, actually. We're actually undead corporate zombies. But
so it's a true story.
Yeah. I'm kind of the most normal. I'm like the Marilyn Munster of the zombies. I'm the most... I'm the most involved in the human aspect of things. I fall in love with Amy's character, who is a human being, which is quite a conflict because I also eat human flesh.
Now, how did you get involved in this project? Was this something that Brian and Dean had talked to you about ahead of time?
Well, Bruce Dellis, the writer, apparently wrote this part with me in mind. I used to do a children's television show.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That his kid was a big fan of. So apparently, while watching me on children's television, he thought, "Wow, this guy could really play the undead very, very well." So
It seems like a very different type of thing for you to do. I mean, to go from something like Blue's Clues into doing a horror office comedy. I mean, it just seems like was it fun being able to make that kind of jump?
Actually, the transition was pretty easy from affable, clueless kid show host to vampire.
Right.
It's actually it's a much smoother transition than you think.
Yeah. Now, do you want to try to do maybe some more horror type of films? Is that something you can see yourself doing more of?
I'm not specifically a horror fan or anything like that. I'm also don't do much acting anymore. But this was so much fun. I'll do anything that seems like a great experience like this.
Yeah. What's up next for you?
I'm making a children's record with Stephen Droz from the Flaming Lips. So,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And when is that going to hit?
Well, we're just finishing it up. He's getting very, very busy right now, so we'll probably finish it up by the end of spring.
Okay. Very cool. Steve, we're going to look for you in NETHERBEAST Incorporated. Thanks for coming to Dallas.
Thanks a lot.
All right, pleasure to meet you, man. So look who's back. I got Dean and Brian Ronalds here.
Hey.
And as you can see, they had a little accident on the way to the red carpet. So guys, this is...
We don't get along sometimes while we shoot the movies, and we had this big argument before we came over, and this is the result of it.
Yeah.
So little Tums,
And we'll be all right.
We'll be
Yeah,
okay,
we'll be feeling
yeah.
good. Back to business. So.
back to business.
You seem to have the most talked about movie of this whole festival right now. It's everybody's talking about the film.
That's
We're
us.
so happy.
Do we?
It's like a dream come true. You're living the dream, man.
You're living the dream, man. Right.
Now this is very symbolic of the film as well,
It is.
because we talked about it earlier, but the whole idea of vampires, phone company, office, everything.
Misconception.
Misconception.
Redefining history, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
you're gonna come to see an undead office comedy about the real world of vampires.
And the everyday working stiff.
That's right.
So, like I said to Steve, it's a true story.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. 100%. It's all
100%.
reality based. It's almost kind of like a documentary.
Yeah. So if you look at it like that, you'll be.
You want
looking
some
at-
ointment
you'll
for
be
that,
looking-
or?
Yeah.
You'll be looking totally wrong.
You'll be watching a different movie.
Very cool. So you guys must be having a fun time. I mean, aside from the injury.
Yeah, no, this was fun actually.
No, this is fun. We when we saw the guy who has this in the movie come out, we're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Dean thought about this like 2 days, and we're like, it's very appropriate.
Why not?
Making movies, you might as well get a stake through the heart. Because,
Right.
It is pretty much symbolic of Hollywood, I guess.
Yeah. Any business for that matter.
Awesome, guys. Well, go put something on that, will you?
Yeah,
All right, good to see you.
Some ginger ale and crackers.
Right.
There you go. All right.